From the backstretch at Saratoga, this is Loose on the Lead with Steve Bick and Seth Merrow. Loose on the Lead is sponsored by
Good morning. Welcome to Loose on the Lead, live from Saratoga on this Sunday morning, live from Clare Court. There's been some action back here. There's been some action on the main track. Things are winding down, though. You can tell in the mornings. But nice day. Again, windbreaker giveaway day up here if you want to come up.
Windbreaker?
Yeah. I'm getting it. That was the one giveaway I like this year. So
I didn't even realize.
I'm going to go grab the windbreaker. Seth, Merrow, Steve, Bitt, good morning.
Good morning.
A little bit later on, John Ortiz, already in the house, who had fabulous training job with great work to get it done in the prior race, and then just missed in the spin-away subsequently. We'll talk about all that in a few with John Ortiz. And why don't we kick right off play of the day, because your play of the day is kind of interesting. You have the appropriate colors on today. We are looking for you guys to walk away at the end of the day. And,
so clever.
So toss it out there about today's DePaula play of the day.
Well, first of all, it's been a really, again, another fun season.
Congratulations. Yeah, was it last Sunday? Wednesday. Wednesday. Knocked it out of the park and put another $1,200 in the kitty for the bankroll team. That was a great call.
And it's a fascinating exercise because, Kevin has had one approach, which is to kind of grind it out, pick, very likely winners. And this is one of those age-old, public handicapper query, scenarios. Is a play of the day, is your best bet, is it the horse that's most likely to win, or is it a horse that is disproportionately priced for its prospects for success? And for me, as a value player, that's always been my approach. And there's a couple of benefits to it. Number one is, your strike rate is going to be lower, proportionately to, just like favorites. Favorites win, 32 to 36%. And, you're going to miss some of those slam dunks end up not being slam dunks. So my approach has always been with this DePaula play of the day. I think this is our fourth year, is to find horses that have a shot at a good price. And that's what we've done again this summer. And the horse on, what was the horse's name? You got the
I don't.
Here, I'll tell you right away. It was because it was a lot of fun. And Tina, Just Heart. And not only was it fun for the OTB bankroll players, was delighted that Bruce Brown.
Yeah, I saw Bruce the next day.
Got off the duck with it. Yeah. But that horse had a real look, and it was dirtied up. If you watch the little video, was dirtied up because of off the turf. And people, see, 48 buyer, 53 buyer, and then a 34 buyer. Well, the 34 buyer is not reflective. The horse was supposed to run on the grass. Bruce left the horse in. So now it looks, like it's off form, or, that today's not necessarily the day or whatever. But that wasn't fair. That wasn't what he was intended to do. So to take a horse like that, and he was 12-1, or she was 12-1, and ended up going off higher, went off at 15-1, and gets up in the last stride. And even if she had been second, it would have been a nice payday for me and for the OTB bankroll players. So the 50 of you, I was really happy to do that. We're up, I think, about $800 or more, about $850 per person. Let's see if we can't close it out today and tomorrow. And I haven't
80, not just so people aren't expecting 850. 85.
85.
Yeah.
We're trying to get it up over 100 each. I haven't done tomorrow's yet, so I'll work on that tonight. Today, though, we're in the same position we were last year on Labor Day when I made Scherzando the DePaula play of the day, got beat a neck at like 6-1 on closing day. Well, today we're in the we're in the 13th, and Landauer has been away for a few months. He nothing major. He just was kind of out of sorts. Might have been growing a little bit. He's a 3-year-old. He's a homebred of ours by Motown, out of our Voltarine, who had all kinds of potential and got hurt in her second career start. But he's been away. He comes back with blinkers on. He's been doing terrific coming up to this. And he kind of found a good field, I think, for this opportunity. And he's matured, essentially. He's grown quite a bit. I think it's going to turn out that this time off since March is going to have been very beneficial. And at 10-1, he was as good a play, I thought, as anybody on the card. So we're going to go to the nightcap, and we'll take our own DT homebred Landauer, and hope we close out the last Sunday of the meet, both with our partners and with Gary. Gary hasn't. He's running tomorrow again too with Eddie F. With Butter from the long line of oyster, chowder, lobster, and the rest for Eddie F. Seafood. We'll put in a plug here in Saratoga and Clifton Park.
I will give him a thumbs up. Fried clams. Should we take a break and get John?
Bring John in?
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back. John Ortiz will join us again. Nice meet overall, certainly. But yesterday, great training job with Bright Work in the Prioress, and Whiteside ran well. Also, the Spinaway. John Ortiz next when Loose on the Lead continues.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
Turn your love of racing into savings with equine discounts through the NTRA. Purchase through equine discounts and receive great savings on well-known brands like John Deere, Sherwin-Williams, Big Ass Fans, Farmers Insurance, and Office Depot. Join thousands of other equine members and support companies that give back to the sport we all love. Call 866-678-4289 or visit equinediscounts.com to start saving today.
Welcome back to Loose on the Lead. As promised before the break, joined now by trainer John Ortiz. Nice day yesterday. Bright Work, Quiet Side, both running well. Bright Work very well off the layup, and Quiet Side very well also in the spinaway. John, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good. Happy to have you on board. And I also just wanted to talk about the meet overall. Limited starters, but 11 starters, 6 wins, a second, and a third. It's been a phenomenal meet. Did you come in with goals? And I'm assuming if you did, you surpassed them.
Yeah, it's first of all, it's just an honor always to come out here and participate at Saratoga's, summer meet. It's funny because we with WSS, with Bill Simon and Jared Hughes, we put a plan together a long time ago that we wanted to compete at the biggest stages of the game and the industry. And
mission accomplished.
Thanks for their support and helping me get here. And we just want to try our 2-year-olds, babies. Just want to be in the best races, and you want to be seen with competing with the best. And surely enough, it lifts you up a little bit, and hopefully we're proving a point here.
Yeah, no, it's been a phenomenal meet. And for folks who aren't familiar, give us your background. How'd you get into the game?
Well, my dad was a jockey back in Colombia a long time ago, and and so the love for the horses in us, and me and my brother, my sister, and my cousin Carlos David, who ran in the priorities with us as well. He's had a very good success throughout the years, but it's all because of the love of the horse that my dad, even my Uncle Louis, put in us. Just a great horseman family. And my last year I was working for Kellen Gorder as an assistant in Kentucky, and I was ready to go off on my own, and picked up an opportunity to go to Oakland, and the rest is history. And met great people, great supporters, like in the Gasaways, Bill Simon, Mr. Hootie Moore, and so many more that have just always had my back. And here we are.
Yeah, very good. Steve?
Well, and we've had John almost, I think every summer we've had John on since you started coming. You're certainly a perfect example of, some of the pressures that have been applied to the game. And we look at Bright Work. Let's go to the prioress. And, flips in the paddock and had to scratch on the comebacker. It ends up, being okay. But at the time, first you're worried about her. And then, secondly, you're worried about just finding a right spot.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just getting her to start. No, I mean, it was definitely a trip. Nothing in this industry is set in stone. And, what happened in the test, probably was, I don't want to say a blessing in the sky, but definitely maybe it wasn't for us that day to come back and run her 6 furlongs. Maybe it was better because if you could see she was definitely tiring down this stretch. The track got a little heavy with the little rain that we were getting at the time. And I've never seen her really lay it out like she did yesterday. And coming off of a 10-month break, I think it all worked out at the end. No?
What was your confidence level? Because it was a long break.
I've been confident in her always. She came in like since she was a yearling. My dad, got her started. We've just been confident in everything that she does. She's very smart, picks everything up easily, and just always puts herself forward, and makes my job a lot easier. But to see her yesterday, like to run her with such a break against 3-year-olds that have been running great, that are proving themselves, like we had a lot to prove yesterday. And she got it done. She was an athlete, and it's the rest is history.
Do you believe in horse for a course? Because she's now 3 for 3 up there, all stakes races.
Everybody that has a horse for a course will always tell you that for sure. But I'm glad her course is Saratoga. But I gotta have another. We gotta find other tracks too. But no, she's awesome. Obviously, she likes Keeneland as well. So I think that'll be our next stop with her.
How was she this morning?
Perfect. She was bright-eyed. Mr. Bill Simon and Tammy and Will came out with apples to give her, and and Mr. Bill likes to pick grass and hand feed her, and she calls him by his name every morning, and she sees him. He's like, "Hey, I know that guy. Come over here, give me the grass." And she was bright-eyed, and like I said, bright-eyed for Bright Work, and I think we're ready to continue.
Very good, very good. And Keeneland up next, you're thinking?
Yeah, most likely. We'll look at we'll see. We'll see where she takes us. We'll pick it out here when we get back home. We'll decide.
Let's shift over and talk a little bit about the spin away. You had Quiet Side in there, and again, this was another nice performance on the day. Quiet Side, 8th pole, 16th pole. She looks great. Quiet Side's going to be the number 11 horse. And eventually Immersive just gets up and gets the victory. But you had to be pleased with this performance for Quiet Side.
Yeah, this is another one that I came in very confident in. We believe this filly from the very beginning. My brother and I keep comparing her to Bright Work. She's kind of same kind of frame, but you know, I think she just got. I was happy with the post originally. You know, coming off, we'll be able to track the pace, but she broke so well. She caught a flyer, and I think that kind of got us 4 wide the whole race. And you know, I think Louis did a good job riding her, and when he moved on, trying to get the jump on them, and you know, she looked so easy. I think he was riding so confidently, and you know, we got caught at the wire, and you know, such as horse racing, but. You know, I'm very proud of that winning effort that she gave us.
Yeah, that was a nice performance, certainly, in only the second career start.
She did all the running. I mean, immersive gets up and all that, but she ran every step.
Yeah.
This was 7/8, and you know, the outside post usually very advantageous, but in this case, because the horses inside, you know, went to a kind of a phalanx, Louis had really no choice. What is he going to do? He's not going to tuck in behind. So basically stalked from there, took over, and you know, just gets caught. You've got an interesting situation whenever New York outfits come out of the Hopeful and the Spinaway. They've got the Demoiselle and the Champagne waiting for them. What are you going to do? Because if you go back to Kentucky, I mean, Pocahontas and it comes up a little fast, actually.
Yeah.
3 weeks. So you have to, and then you think about Keeneland, 2 turns at Keeneland, or do you come back to New York to go the 1-turn mile? How do you proceed?
You know, that's going to be something that we need to talk about. But you know, the connections like to run at Keeneland as well. So we're looking probably for the Alcibiades. I think this filly's got a pedigree to stretch out. You know, and like I said, she ran every single bit of 7 furlongs yesterday and more. You know, if you really want to think about how far wide she was around the turn. So I think that she would be able to rate better because she's very tactical. She's got early speed. You can see she sits in hands very well, and she's very obedient. And she listens to instructions, and I think that she could take the 2 turns going forward with Keeneland.
Certainly in their second career start, that was impressive.
You know, we should mention, you mentioned some of your clients, John Ed Anthony, shortleaf sable, and you know, one of the great long running operations in the sport. Nice to have, and he's been with you almost
years,
almost from the beginning.
Yeah, they've been very great to us. You know, they're a big support. I learned so much from Mr. John Ed. He's always got these really good you know, what do you call those? Just hints and tips so you can grow. And he's helping my business grow. Really good advice. And, you know, I look up to him a lot for sure. And especially with the opportunity that he's given me. He trusts us, my team, and we love delivering for him. You know, we love delivering all the time. But yeah, it's special to have him in the barn.
Now, this one out of a Speightstown mare, Benner Island. This is actually the last crop of Malibu Moon as well.
Yes.
So they had a chance yesterday to have another Grade 1 winner for the late Malibu Moon. Himself a great story. Well, once again this summer, just outstanding. You know, you look at the winners, and even the horses that didn't win the other day during the week. Raining Flowers ran very well in the PG Johnson on Thursday.
Yeah, no, and she's doing really well, you know, and the Gasaways have done a fantastic job with all their homebreds this year. I mean, winning the Kentucky Derby and then having, you know, Crown Imperial last year, who did really well here.
That's right.
And now Raining Flowers. You know, she had an incredible ride. She stumbled a little bit leaving the gate, but Louis didn't panic, and he's seen that she can close, so he settled back a little bit. And I told him that she's got a big stride. Just wait till the top and the stretch and just let her run. And we just missed it. But you know, again, another winning effort, I think, from a 2-year-old.
So what's your scenario during the year? You're up here with some limited starters, and where do you go from here, and then moving on in the winter time as well?
Well, normally our trip is this has been our favorite stop in the summer, you know. But now after this, we go back home to Kentucky. We're at Churchill. We have a couple of Kentucky Downs, and then Keeneland's home. So once Keeneland's over, we'll go back to Churchill, and then it's Oak Lawn for the winter.
you shipped down. I want to ask about a couple of horses. Exarban Derby, which I got a big kick out of, that won at Ellis. But what about the Virginia bred that won the Keswick, the 2-year-old?
Yeah,
Winfinity.
Yeah, so she's really nice. That's a new for our new client, Mr. John Wade. Really getting into the game now. He wants to be involved in the same thing in the biggest stages of the game, and he got this really nice filly, Virginia bred, registered, and we believed in her as well. From the morning, she's shown a lot, and I was very confident running her in this first time in a stakes race. And I tell them, very rarely you see a maiden in a stakes race, but when I put one in there, I'm very confident.
Gotta be to show up in a stakes race like that. Yeah, I saw Exarban Derby too. I like that name.
Great name. What's next though for Winfinity?
Well, we're gonna try her at Kentucky Downs. We're gonna try the Untappable. We won that race last year with Crown Imperial.
Right.
I think she's a filly that wants to stretch out a little bit more. I'm gonna go with the 6.5 instead of a mile.
Right.
And because she's still learning, she's still got a lot to improve, but I think it's a good spot, and I think she'll take to the turf. I think she will.
Not this time, out of an Awesome Again mare. And this was a $300,000 purchase. She was cut out to be a nice horse.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, this sets you up. I mean, it sets you up, frankly. You could go to Del Mar with her and go the route race or the turf spread.
Yeah, I think, and I think she's going to be eventually a router. Like, she's built like a router, really long-legged filly, long body, pretty narrow, and I think that's why we're going to give that a shot at Kentucky Downs. We'll see what we can prove.
Well, she comes from the Smitten farm of the late Bill Backer, and this actually, for if John Wade has long-term plans, this is a nice family to have bought into too, as a broodmare, as a residual prospect.
For sure. No, he does. He's been buying mares, and they have a nice breeding program right now. And we're gonna have to try to have a little rotation every year of 2-year-olds, yearlings, and 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and so on. So we're excited for his program to get rolling.
Well, Johnny, your program is rolling, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations on the great meet. Again, limited starters 11. And so you got to go down the list a little bit to find John Ortiz on the trainers list. But percentage-wise, if you click in that column, you're going to be right up there.
I think so.
6 for 11, a solid Saratoga meet. Congratulations on that. Good luck going forward this year.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Good.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Congratulations yesterday.
Thank you.
Great work. That was a great training job coming back off the layout.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Pat McKenna from the New York Racing Association. We'll get a little recap from the NYRA side of things on the Saratoga meet. Stay tuned.
Birdstone is an outside front. They're coming down to the finish. Can Smarty Jones hold on? Here comes Birdstone. Birdstone surges past. Birdstone wins the Belmont Stakes. In front, but here comes High Chaparral. High Chaparral, the defending champ, to take it to Falbrough. These two arch rivals head to head with Joe Hart bearing down on them. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish to the turn. Here's the wire. Photo finish.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Welcome back to Loose on the Lead. As promised for the break, joined now by Pat McKenna from the media department at the New York Racing Association. Thought we'd get Pat in, talk a little bit, recap of the 2024 meet, and I think just go ahead.
Well, it's not going to be as good as what we're talking about before we came back from the break, which was all the celebrities that Pat has presented trophies with, right? And ceremonies?
Sort of, yes.
Who was
George
Foreman.
I was once a part of a Hambletonian trophy presentation at the Meadowlands, where George Foreman was also on hand many moons ago. Anyway,
is that the best? Is that the best celeb?
It's just something that came to mind.
Come on, come on, drop some names. Drop some names, like Andy does it when he has lunch.
I have no names to drop
at the lunch.
George Foreman was pretty good, you said it was the height of the grill period. So
yes, the George Foreman grill.
It was the best George.
If any of our loyal viewers remember those days.
All right, let's get back to Saratoga 2024. I'll just have you kind of briefly sum up. I mean, I think there was some weather issues throughout the meet, but overall, as compared to last year, certainly. But overall, I think it's been a fabulous meet. Highlighted last week by the exclamation point of one of the all-time fabulous trappers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a terrific summer, and you go back to the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival here in early June, which was one of the most memorable and exciting weekends in the history of this venue, and it feels like that momentum has continued into the summer. As you said, I mean, for any kind of sporting event to live up to the hype and then actually exceed it, which is what we saw in the Travers, and that was, that will certainly be remembered for a long, long time.
Yeah, no question about it. I'm sure you guys are ready for things to wind down, because I know during the meet, the media department is running around. I will always visit the website, the NYRA website. You guys do great notes, previewing and reviewing stakes action and beyond. But as I say, I'm sure you guys, like all of us, ready for a little break.
Yeah, I mean, it's always bittersweet. We love it here, just like the fans who, again, visited us to the tune of more than 1 million for the 10th consecutive year, which just demonstrates the enduring and growing popularity of Saratoga. So, yeah, all in all, I mean, sometimes we get focused on certain things during the sort of crux of the meet that I think, fortunately, the most important thing is that the fans were here in droves. They enjoyed themselves. And it seemed like everyone was thrilled to be back here at the spa.
Always when you get, the last couple of years, I also like to recognize the newer venues at the racetrack, which have become very popular. The Paddock Suite has become popular. Again, always tout and give applause to the stretch, down at the top of the stretch, where there were, 2 or 3 grandstand segments that on the vast majority of the days were unused. And now it's kind of an upscale area that I know people who use it regularly, and they're high on it. 1863 Club, the little parking area on the clubhouse turn. This year, the updated Jim Dandy Bar has been getting thumbs up.
Yeah, the Jim Dandy Bar has been really well received. We opened that up just prior to the Belmont Stakes in June. I mean, that's as popular a place as anywhere on track. It's sort of now you have the Paddock Bar, which has always been a great way to spend the day. Jim Dandy Bar a little bit closer to the finish line. Opening up that whole clubhouse has been, I think, really well thought through and executed. So that's an investment. And then in terms of the backstretch area, we just opened a new 6,000 square foot dormitory. It's a beautiful facility. And that's, that reflects our commitment to continuously improving facilities back there for the backstretch community. I was fortunate enough to be with a reporter, and we went into the Backstretch Healthcare Clinic. We went into the Faith's House, where there were, those are 2 incredible facilities that I don't think you see replicated anywhere in the country. So credit to the BCCA, to the chaplaincy, and to Best for all that they do, not only during the meet, remember, but also really up here from April until November, and then downstate 365 days a year. So they deserve all the credit for really just some significant, lasting, meaningful improvements to the quality of life of the backbone of the sport. That's the backstretch community.
Well put, backbone. That's what I've said at Umberto and Ramon from the chaplaincy, and a couple of days ago. They do great work back there. We've had Michael Dublin before at the BCCA do great work. But again, that folks don't realize, and you mentioned up here, I don't think a lot of people realize there's the racing season, but there are people and horses up here from April until November, and so to have them, have the support that they get is great. And I think the dormitory is a really nice addition as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. And obviously, considering last year, beginning again with the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival, I think we've now demonstrated real progress in terms of reducing the frequency of equine injuries. And that's obviously paramount. Really unfortunate the other day, but when you take the scope of the meet in its entirety and the entire summer, and that's a reflection of the work that Heiss has been doing, the work that Glenn and his team do every single day to maintain these services, to ensure that they're consistent, reliable day to day in these changing weather conditions. So certainly not to be discounted. There's always more work to be done, but that is an important piece of what we do every single day.
Pat, where are we business wise? Lost essentially the Whitney Day problems, had to, plus the cancellation, made up the races actually. Well, actually end up writing. Dave Brennick said 2 more races than last summer, but has the handle numbers caught up?
Yeah, I mean, we'll either approach or eclipse 800 million, which is an enormous number that 10 years ago people would have probably laughed at. Yeah, sure.
True.
I mean, we had some remarkable years, 2022 to nearly hit 900 million. I mean, everything needs to line up perfectly. It was great weather. Most importantly, it was dry. So that's a year that may be difficult to ever get to again. But business has been really strong, and that Whitney Day, canceling those races probably cost us, 15 to 17 million in handle, which is significant. But we've added back a number of races. Field size has been strong, especially the last couple of weeks.
Closing week.
Exactly, and that's been an area that's been somewhat soft in recent years. So to see improvement in terms of participation in the final week is really great. Hopefully it bodes well for the fall.
Well, and what's notable is that there are plenty of outfits that are packing up, to head back to Kentucky and the like.
Sure.
And so to have, all these 10 and 12 horse fields to close out, and I mean, it was really notable from that standpoint. And even the stakes, which have been some not problematic, but it's a problem facing that's industry wide. But even the stakes pendulum swung up. Look at today. People are going to say, "Oh, it's a 7-horse Jockey Club Gold Cup." It's a very, very good 7-horse Jockey Club Gold Cup. You don't need, Andy and I talk about this all the time. You don't need a bunch of flotsam and jetsam, to get in the way. Horses, stopping and fading away while real contenders are involved. So no, it's been the racing. Based on handicapping challenge, the racing has been terrific throughout. And you know what? It hasn't been at the expense, frankly, of other parts of the country, because Ellis had a fabulous summer. Down, you look down at Colonial and what they've done and the summer they've had. I mean, we talked about this with Jay Privman and Dave Brennick on Friday.
Okay.
It's been a very good racing year in its entirety.
Yeah, once we get up here, I have a little bit of a harder time following what's happening in the rest of the country.
Sure.
But that's good to hear. I think we're in a good spot, and the future of racing in New York could not be any brighter. Building a new Belmont Park downstate, having important partners in state government who are enthusiastic supporters of horse racing. The enduring popularity and importance of Saratoga seems to it's crystal clear. Yep, exactly. So, what I also thought was really fun, and I don't know if enough people maybe got to see it. I thought that dunk tank day was super fun.
Dunk tank's a home run.
It's sort of it's sort of a country fair environment here to begin with.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know. I hope we get to do that again.
More dunk tank. Address the ongoing, the inevitable end of season rumor mongering about dates and about coming here July 4th through Labor Day, and what should people know, Pat?
We'll have the 2025 Belmont Stakes Racing Festival here at Saratoga Race Course, followed by the summer meet, and we haven't made any determinations on the rest of it. Is it possible that we add one weekend prior to the beginning of the meet? Yes, it's possible. but we would not be able to stay directly from the Belmont through Labor Day. Obviously, the turf courses wouldn't be able to sustain that level of racing, but this is, and Dave O'Rourke, the NYRA CEO, has been open and transparent about this. This is a transition period for NYRA as we have 2 tracks. We need to manage the turf courses properly. We need to ensure the greatest level of participation for those events that historically and in the future will be back at Belmont, but don't necessarily receive the same support when they're at Aqueduct. So we'll have those conversations in the coming, 2 to 3 months. But right now we're focused on closing the meet strong, thanking the fans, because that's ultimately, we can invest in this or that, but what makes Saratoga special day after day and year after year is the support of the fans.
The players.
You mentioned the dunk tank. Somebody walked up to me yesterday and said, make sure you thank Vinny Viola on the show tomorrow for bringing the Stanley Cup. I didn't get over there, but I guess that was hugely popular.
Yes, and Steve, I just heard you say that. Yes, and the horse players for handicapping, for spending the time, for investing and supporting Saratoga.
Should mention today also the Windbreaker giveaway day.
Yes.
That's the one I wanted, so I'm getting over there for a Windbreaker.
And kudos to the marketing folks, because this slate of giveaways has been terrific.
Well, anything that augments Seth's wardrobe is well received. If they might want to think about, are there a bunch of those red jackets left over, because Seth would.
We could probably get our hands on one.
He needs get Seth a red jacket.
Yeah, it's a full zip black Windbreaker, perfect for those fall nights here in upstate New York. Also wanted to mention the passing of John Hendrickson because of his support for Saratoga. You think about Mary Lou's efforts to really save Saratoga in the late 70s and 80s, and what they did and what he continued to do for, again, the backstretch community, for the Hall of Fame. I mean, made enormous changes that has really positioned the Hall of Fame for success in the future.
Saratoga Hospital.
Exactly.
His participation in the backstretch, though, those dinners over there across the street, bingo and whatnot. John was a big part of that. So, yeah, we will certainly miss John.
Thank you guys for being here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys having us back here every year with our little location right in front of Clare Court. Makes
one of the best spots on track.
Yeah, no, got the horses working out early in the morning when we're here, and it's always a lot of fun to be here. See Jim Bond going back and forth all morning with his horses, waving to him and the dog and the golf cart as well. So we appreciate your hospitality as well. And before we go, just update us. You've kind of alluded to already next year, but just give us a little update. There's about a week and a half break, then it's on Belmont at Aqueduct for the fall.
Yes, exactly. So we built in that extra week. It's actually something we started in 2020, and I think it's been a welcome change to have just a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, sure.
The work never stops, especially for these trainers every single day. But it's a nice period after the conclusion of Saratoga. Yep, and then Belmont at the Big A, followed by the traditional Aqueduct fall meet. Lots of turf racing, 2 turf courses, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it as well. Pat, appreciate the visit. Congratulations to you and everybody at NYRA on a nice 2024 meet. And again, it was highlighted the last week, as you say. Often the hype, the event doesn't live up to the hype. This one surpassed it the other day with Ken McPeak making the decision for Torpedo Anna. I wanted her to win, but still, it was a great race, and fierceness living up to his talent. It was a great traverse, certainly, that highlighted the meet. We have a couple more days to go on a great 2024. So, again, great work to you and the rest of the NYRA team, and we appreciate the visit.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up for 2024 Loose on the Lead. Stay tuned.
All right. Need a photo.
Welcome back to Loose on the Lead. As I said before the break, the last Loose on the Lead for Saratoga 2024. It's always a little bittersweet, but it's been fun. We had you in more than you were anticipating at the beginning of the meeting.
That's right. You because Virginia went sideways, and we slipped out of Jersey quickly and got back for that. So yeah, I was supposed to miss 3. I only missed 1.
Perfect. And it's been fun. I think the shows have all been very good.
If we don't say so ourselves.
Fun guest.
No,
I'm
it's
perfectly
always
happy.
we look forward to this. For me, it's the only chance really I get to be on television. You're
it's too much.
Literally, you're like Captain Kangaroo. I mean, you've been on forever.
I bring the keys, put them in, the music stops, the whole thing.
As we wrap up, want to thank everybody for the kind words that you pass on.
Yeah.
You pass on to Seth. I never hear them personally. But
people do love the big shows, and if you look on YouTube, they they're up there too. So
I love it. Speaking of which, you did make me think of one thing. Beat Bick just today and tomorrow. The last 2 shots.
I gotta jump in.
Yeah, today we're using. The Jockey Club Gold Cup.
Perfect.
I went with Arthur's Ride. I don't think he has to win by any means. No. Pyrenees. Very tough for Cherie coming in from Kentucky. Tappet Trice is a good alternative as well. I think Todd's got him ready. And who am I forgetting? There's also the Brad Cox horse, Highland Falls. This is a very interesting. Last night in the Pacific Classic was supposed to be an obvious winner. He ended up with the second longest price on the board in Misto, the Calumet, a horse that looked outclassed, but up on the front end. So anyway, good Jockey Club Gold Cup today, and then tomorrow the hopeful is the race. So go to NTRA.com/NHC/BeatBick, get qualified for the September 19th, whatever that third Saturday is. That'll be the 12 race card to win a seat to Vegas. And finally, want to give everybody an update. Chuck Simon hanging in. He's had a little bit of a setback this last week or so with some kidney problems again. And so it has slowed his chemo treatments. But he's at Saratoga Hospital. And for those of you that are around town still and old friends of Chuck's or recent friends of Chuck's, he'd love to see anybody 11 to 7 over at A322. Stay in contact with me if you want to reach out to Chuck and send him any messages. But he's doing great, and he needs all of our support and our love as he continues to fight a very stiff battle. So thoughts, as always, as we close out the season, to our man Chuck.
If he's watching, we're all rooting for you, Chuck, certainly. And so, Chuck is still in our thoughts. All right, we'll wrap it up. I'm back in the studio next Saturday, and so maybe throughout the fall, we will, of course,
boots on the ground. Boots on the ground at Kentucky Downs next week. If you want some boots on the ground,
absolutely.
And then boots on the ground at Keeneland, and then boots on the ground at Churchill,
and then boots on the ground,
Pennsylvania Derby.
Oh, I would skip right to the Breeders' Cup.
Breeders' Cup. There's like 8 things between now and then.
Man, you're all over the place. That's why it's only TV here. It used to be TV in the studio, and then you're
no, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to you.
You're not around anymore.
No, it wasn't fair.
We'll plug in with boots on the ground. All right,
boots on the ground.
It has been fun as always. A fun season of Loose on the Lead, and as I say, I know everybody on the front side appreciates because they get a lot of great feedback, and we appreciate that as well.
The feedback goes to him, who works like you cannot believe, holding everything together here all summer long, all year long, back down at the studio at whatever that thing is called. What are they called? Clubhouse Racebook. Clubhouse Racebook. This guy should be paid 3 times what he's paid.
I appreciate that.
It still wouldn't be enough.
But you with the 3 hours a day, I will tip my cap to you.
Who's better than us?
As well. All right, we'll wrap it up because they're with the early post time. They're going to kick off Talking Horses in New York, so we'll get it down there for the pregame show from NYRA. But appreciate all summer long. as I say, we'll be talking to you on the phone as the
puts
weeks,
up with me
the
all
weeks.
year long. It's unbelievable.
I knew before the meet ended, I had to get a close.
Oh, please! Although you haven't worn one of my ties for at least 2 weeks. I'm very impressed.
2 weeks ago, I did. And you gave me the bad news that Tina's now making a quote with my ties.
You're off the tie gravy train.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Loose on the lead. It's been fun this 2024 season. We're back in to wrap it up on the morning shows tomorrow morning at 9. Handicappers report 10. Racing across America tomorrow morning on Monday for the last day. We'll see you then.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off Track Betting.
The meet. We wish Javier a speedy recovery. He's a great man and a good jockey, a great jockey, I should say, as well, with those 4 Eclipse Awards. And we're sorry that he missed the end of the meet, but we're just glad that he's not hurt seriously.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so he will not be riding. The scratches weren't given by when we started, but